One of the most confusing things about studying the Beatles is that at some point you'll find a significant amount of people saying that after leaving the Beatles, Paul McCartney was only good for ballads. Actually, there's people who say that Paul was a ballad merchant even while being in the Beatles. I'm not kidding. Debunking such a silly theory is very simple. Like literally, it only takes a couple of songs for you to realize Paul was not only as experimental, but honestly maybe even more experimental than the rest. Even then, I know there's going to be a lot of people who disagree, so I came prepared. I brought the receipts. April of 1970, Paul McCartney released a self-titled album in which he played every instrument, wrote all of the songs, and produced the entire thing. Technically, he wasn't the first to do it, but he was definitely among the first. 1971, you have the release of Ram, an album that carries the title of the first indie album ever made. This is also the best argument against the Ballad Man allegations, since you had Paul doing things like this.
Well, I know my banana is older than the rest, and my hair is a tangle Beretta.
Moving on to 1980, we have the release of his second self-titled album, and my oh my, is this album weird. Honestly, anyone who listens to this album and still believes that Paul was not experimental enough has to be deluded. There's many more examples I could say, but I don't want this video to be that long, so I'm probably just going to stop.
My lord, they remain unconvinced. You must continue until you've completed your task.
July of 1968, he basically created a genre with Helter Skelter. November of 1966, he comes up with the idea for Sgt. Pepper, aka the first concept album ever made. June of 1965, he wrote Yesterday, a song that completely changed the way rock bands were perceived by the media. Early 1969, Paul has the idea of putting a bunch of short songs together to create a multi-faced piece that would go on to be known as the first medley ever included on an album. I think you get it by now, right? Paul McCartney is found at the core of many major music innovations, and the ones I mentioned are only a few. I could go on for hours. The man is simply that creative, and though I know some of you will disagree, I honestly believe he is the most influential member of the Beatles. So, the next time you hear someone saying that Paul McCartney only makes silly love songs, just tag them in this video and let me take care of it.